BP, yo.
Welcome to the BBP.
Welcome to the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, a Washington Commanders podcast for fans, by fans. With your host, Jesse Martin.
What are you talking about? You're out of your mind.
John Taylor.
We finally got professional football back. This is going to be fun.
Scott Hartley.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Max Taylor.
As long as you got Jaden Daniels, you got a chance to win.
Spanning the eras of Washington football. Honoring the past. Commanding the future. And now, the world's worst podcast host, John Taylor.
Hello there, everyone, and welcome to a Saturday edition of the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, the BBP. I can't do my fingers that way, and I don't know how I would do it anyway. Scott, show everybody how to be so fucking cool that you can make your fingers make it be. Jesse can do it. There you go. No. I don't speak the kids' language, but we are the BBP. And here we are, man. We're going to talk about some draft talk. It's Saturday afternoon. It looks nice outside, but there's a chill in the air. The bite got my shit done earlier this morning. Figured might as well come on in here and talk about some Commanders football. And I know whenever I say let's talk about some Commanders football, there's a guy that's like right at your feet like a puppy. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do it right now. And that is Jesse. Welcome to the show, my friend, Jesse Martin. Ladies and gentlemen. Right. So you've just come back from Vermont when you did a nice book signing over the last weekend at I think it was Beans and Birkenstock's Coffee House.
Yeah, it was great, John.
I'm telling you what, y'all think I'm kidding, but we've got photographic evidence. There he is. He writes under the name Rex Cathcart. There he is.
I used to own that sweater.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Tony. I said, that's something Tony would fucking wear.
I think I own that pipe.
Rex Cathcart. Now, look, I'm telling you what, the other day I'm in the shower and I'm thinking about what kind of goofy shit can I do for the show. And I'm thinking I always fuck with Scott. So I got to screw with Jesse a little bit somehow. And that name popped in my head. And I'm yelling out of the bathroom to my wife to write it down. Rex Cathcart, write it down, Rex Cathcart. So there he is. And I'm hoping that it went rather well up there in the land of hirsute women and liberals. And speaking of hirsute women and liberals, there's our good friend down there from Barrow and Furnace, UK, Scotty Hartley. Scott, you hate both hirsute women and liberals, from what I understand. Is that true?
No, not at all. Everyone's happy with me. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter what you believe in. I'm going to say hello.
Well, there he is. There's Scott Hartley, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what. I feel kind of remiss because, Tony, you're on all the time, and you are going to become like, you're the new part of the show because Max is pulling the Keith. He's man about town lately. I think today he's at somebody's birthday party. The way that you get out of going to birthday parties and shit is you just don't have any fucking friends. It's easy. Anyway, we missed St. Patrick's Day, so I figured I'd throw up some fucking decorations for you there.
Nice.
There we go. Wait a minute. That's not even close to that's racist. That really is. So hold on. Let's put this up there. Let's make it a little more reasonable.
That's more like it.
There we go. Celebrate with the Irish. I don't have any Irish music or anything, but there you go. Doodle-doodle-doo. How you doing?
Good. How's it going, guys?
Well, we all said it's just fine. You're the last one.
I always say that. I would say, how are you guys? And you've already said you're okay, so yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well. We forgive you. It is St. Patrick's Day.
I've been drinking.
Well, I mean, look at that. When we did this with Scott with a couple of overlays, we couldn't get him to get right in front of it. It looks like you've just got that one bottle right there in your mouth. That's nice. That worked out just fine. See, Scott, this is how it's done. All right.
I see that, John, yeah.
Okay, so we are going to talk about some Commanders crap. It's March. There's really not a whole lot to talk about other than speculative stuff or, just overblown things. So why not jump into the overblown things? And let's give a quick run around the room about our flag football game, even though now it is all dust is settled. Everybody's fine. Nobody got hurt or anything like that. Jesse, how do you feel about it? And I'm going to pull this out real quick. I don't have the old tape of it. But I recall you telling me when I was being a little ninny about it way back in the day when we heard about it that he's just going to play quarterback. It's like all-time quarterback. He doesn't even move. So how do you feel about what you were watching?
I don't give a shit. I mean, it was fine. It was nothing. It's enough big, humongous nothing burger. And I think pretty much the only person that gives two shits about it is Kevin Sheehan, which, he's not right all the time. But yeah, I mean, listen, I said this on the bunker last week. It is nothing more. They train so much harder than what they were doing out on the field. So on a daily basis, I mean, really,
you're not cutting like that sometimes. I mean, I tell you what, Joe Burrow's knee, when he made that one cut, I know they slow it all down and everything like that. But dude, that's what happened to Chase Young. He just planted his foot wrong, and that was that. I am in the camp still of, okay, I'm glad it's over, but I was like, just the whole dang time, especially when he's out running around. Shit happens. Scotty, what did you think?
No, I don't really care. Being honest with you, I'm in the Jesse camp with Jesse, just purely and simply because this off-season training I know it's a game, and I know it's a flag football game. It was in Dubai. It was it wasn't luckily Saudi. Sorry,
they moved it to Los Angeles because LA. Dubai might have gotten hit by Iranian bombs.
But whatever, it was one of them that the Saudi money had paid for, shall we say?
Right.
Am I that bothered about it? Not particularly. We can't, teams can't control what players do in the off season, so
they can. No, they can. 100%.
They can't unless you put training in there. Wide receivers and quarterbacks get together all the time.
Yeah, it's not training.
I know it's not training, but they had permission to do this.
So, yes, they did.
Look, Deron Payne is posting like pickup basketball games that are more contact than that flag football.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing, though.
This player, you can't
have stopped other players from playing pickup basketball games because people have gotten hurt. I can remember there was a big stink about it when Ben Roethlisberger wrecked his motorcycle. Oh, he can live his life, but okay. But they do have hazardous clauses for hazardous conduct in these contracts. Flag football, obviously, the team signed off on it. Tony, what did you have to say?
Well, I was in the Jesse and Scott camp to begin with. If he was just going to be standing there throwing a few balls, but the stuff I watched, there's not a cat in hell's chance if I was the Commanders that I would be letting him play in that. No way.
Right. I mean, I got to agree, and the reason for two reasons. Number one, for that, as a football fan, as a selfish person that wants to see him lead my team to the Super Bowl, that's what I want to see. And also, dude, I mean, from his own standpoint, within, what is he, 25?
He got a huge check over this.
I got to check over it, but you know what? By the time he's 30, he could make $250 million plus money, cash money, unless he gets hurt.
And I hear the arguments about the fact that they do pick up basketball, they do far worse in their own training, blah blah blah. Yeah,
training is part of the game, though.
You're training for your job,
right?
This is making a shit ton of money for something that is completely unnecessary. Now, again, if he's just standing there throwing a ball, that's fine. Did you see where he was running pass routes? Did you see when he ran in the 2-point conversion and he had to juke to the outside to juke to the inside? What's this conversation going to be like? And I know we live in a world of ifs, buts, and maybes. What's the world going to be like if he does that cut and his ACL goes? Are we all going to be standing here now? No, it's fine.
We're all going to blame Tom Brady. That's it. We're blaming Tom Brady and we're blaming the Saudis, and that's it.
It's fine until it's not fine.
I know what you're saying.
Eyebrow went up.
It's fine until it's
not
fine.
You can blow your Achilles
walking off a step.
Yeah, walking off a goddamn curb.
You're right.
Things
you can do to mitigate risk when you've got that much money on.
I get it.
You cannot. And no NFL teams can't say you can't fucking do this. Unless you explicitly write it up in the contract.
Yeah, they do.
Well, you can because if they didn't have to ask permission, then they wouldn't have to ask permission.
They do have hazardous conduct clauses in the contracts. I mean, things like motorcycle riding. I remember when Ben Roethlisberger had his accident.
And the NFL's behind this. The team is fine with it. If this was contact, okay, you got a point. But this was a non-contact situation.
Doesn't matter.
I don't get.
We've seen non-contact injuries many times.
The hubbub about it.
Well, that's the only hubbub there is. It's over now, so no big deal. But
I was right behind. I was looking at Ben Standig's tweets all the way through it, and Standig's going, "This is wild. What is going on? I'm pretty sure the Commanders are not going to be fine with this." Now I wonder, and I might be wrong, whether the Commanders, when they signed off on it, knew that it was going to be that. Where they're playing against Team USA flag football, who are treating this like the Super Bowl.
They should have. They should have known.
You don't listen. The team side, freaking Shanahan was a fucking coach.
Oh yeah, look,
like,
it's money.
like-
At the end of the day, Jesse, it's money. Money talks.
Absolutely,
They all
yeah.
got paid
And,
a big shit ton of money.
and good for him, because right now he's not getting a whole lot of money.
Well,
He's
you know,
on a
the
contract.
other side of the coin there is that the NFL is going to sanction it because they're trying to promote flag football. They really want to bring this into a more because it's a more everybody can play type sport, and that's what they're trying to do. They want to. The NFL can benefit by a big presence of flag. Go ahead, Scott.
You don't think that the Commanders? I know they've signed off on it. I get it. I know it's probably more than they thought they would have. But what's one of our niche markets that the Commanders signed off on? The
leather
UAE,
goods.
Absolutely.
UAE, Saudi, all them sort of areas.
You
so of
think
course
the
you're
NFL
going to get
didn't
Jaden
watch-
doing that.
You think the NFL didn't watch film on tape of the USA flag football team and do their due diligence on this?
Well, nobody got hurt, so they must have been right.
There you go.
I'll be very interested to see what happens to this game. The first time a major NFL player suffers a major.
This is a one and done. This is a one and done deal. They're not playing no more.
They're not
Well,
gonna play
it might
next
be
year,
for
though.
Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham might have worked himself back into the
I
league.
mean, there may be some like retired players maybe coming out, but this was supposed to be
Brady.
a one and done type of deal. This is just promotional.
Yeah, I think the Olympics is going to be from Team USA, isn't it? So
yeah.
I mean,
I
the
tell you
Burrow
what, watching it
thing
was
was
strange.
even more wild.
Watching them.
Oh,
go
that's the
down
bit.
on
That's
their
the bit that
knees-
I got. I was like, okay, yeah,
Now,
that is a bit much.
Look, if Jaden, okay, I get that, but we didn't see Jaden go freaking all out like that. You know, I might have been a little bit perturbed, like Jaden, watch yourself, and Burrow, but I mean, running a couple routes, throwing some fucking passes, ain't no
Nothing
more.
happened. End of the day.
and nothing he did would like put him in danger. I think it's like a 1 to 100. It was maybe a 10 out of 100 for me as far as risk factor.
The risk factor during the game went up more than I expected it to be. Okay, I expected it to be about a 10 out of 100 for them. I expected him to be. What I did not expect was that the second that he snaps the ball or gets the ball thrown back to him, somebody's coming flying in, shooting right at his hips because they're trying to get that flag. There's no, one Mississippi, two Mississippi. All of a sudden, there's this fucking lunatic come flying in after his flag, and he's got a sidestep or anything like that. And, one little thing that goes wrong there, and somebody gets hurt. Look, if I'm the Bengals fan, I'm even more pissed because Joe Burrow's knees are as freaking fragile as can be. So, but I didn't want to bring up too much about it. I just wanted to find out everybody's opinion on it, get a little argument going, get the juices flowing, and we'll go. There you go. So
You bunch of pussies. Let the guy fucking have some fun.
God damn it.
yeah, I just
You guys are talking shit.
See, they look two of them. Oh, there we go. All right. All right. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. It did rather well. I mean, it was what, a 3.5.
I mean, it was so good.
People
Daryl
watched.
Green wants to play on the USA team.
I didn't make the cut though, did he? But RG3 did.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Did you see that
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, it is.
trial?
I
Daryl Green
tried to not pay attention to anything RG3. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Somehow he will screw up the protection call and get himself sacked and running in to grab his flag.
RG3 will blow out his knee. That's
He'll get it blown out for him. That's the thing. He always loved RG3 for 2012, man. But
yeah. Look, I get you on the whole Burrow thing. Like I was surprised. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Come on. Like,
you see the competitive juices. That's just who they are.
Yeah, that's the
just who
danger.
anybody is.
That is the danger because Jaden's
Yeah, I get
competitive as anybody.
Right.
So he didn't end up putting himself in the situation that Burrow did, but he could have.
like
easily.
to me, I don't even think Jaden was going full speed. I think when
he
he was
wasn't.
running, I think he was just kind of gliding. And
Yeah.
Guys like
I get-
him,
I
man,
get
they look
that.
like
I
they're
get that.
gliding when they're going against guys that are not NFL players.
it was like,
I get
look
that,
like
but just
they're
don't put yourself in that situation, especially when all the talk last season about his injuries and is he injury prone, is he RG3 Mark II? Don't even put yourself in that situation.
That's what I say. Mitigate risk, and Okay. To me,
Oh,
what
I
he's
can't
risking
blame
just
him.
by on his own, for me, it's not even so much the team or anything like that. Although I'd like to never see him get hurt. I want to see him lead us to multiple Super Bowls and win. But it's just from his own standpoint. If I'm looking at that, going, okay, how much did he make on that?
I'm not sure.
Not
Not
sure.
sure.
A lot.
Well, we
Okay.
all I know.
But
I haven't seen
overall-
a number, but it was a quite.
Okay, so overall, though, when you think about it, it's 2026. By 2035, how much money can he legitimately make if he doesn't get
A lot less if he blows his knee out in a flag game.
right? Exactly. I mean, the dude could make. I mean, by then, by God, I mean, who knows how much it could possibly be worth? He could be paid $500 million bills that have Donald Trump's signature on them.
Look, okay. On the other side of that, okay,
Right.
you know, just putting myself in his shoes. All right, what if I blow my? What if he blows his? I'm Jaden Daniels. What if I blow my knee out in the playoffs this upcoming season? Then I'm out for
There
the
you go.
entire next year.
Well,
That's going to
yeah,
mess up my.
That's what you're there
you know,
for.
Get you know, possibly career ender. So
Yeah.
I want to get it while I can, while it's available to me. I can't fault him for that. I don't think anybody should fault him.
No, I never fault anybody for trying to go for the dollars. I just think that if you weigh how much, I mean, we're talking, he could make, oh my God, we legitimately, if he plays
could.
10 years in the league, he could make a half a
potentially.
$1 billion.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But the check isn't written yet.
No, I've got the ink, though. We've got the ink. All right. So anyway, let me get a drink of cool water there. And we'll go ahead and I want to talk about free agency real quick because it looks like it's just about over. Scott looks like he's found a secret.
Well, the first wave of free agency.
The first major wave is broke upon the beach. We're looking at guys like, who was this fellow that we just signed the other day? Witherspoon, is that his last name?
Yeah,
Witherspoon. What's his first name?
It's
Akela.
Yeah.
Like in from the Jungle Book.
I think it's good depth.
I do too.
Yeah, I have no issue with it at all. Bring him in.
If he stays healthy,
Yeah,
you know,
let him compete.
Absolutely. I mean, at this stage of it, this is where I'm standing. Anybody that they're signing, especially somebody that they bring in for a visit, and then after a day or so, after mulling it over, they go ahead and make the signing. They're not just desperately reaching out and telling anybody, just pack your bags and come over. We've got a room for you. If they're signing players now, we know they have to fill out the roster. These are guys that they're targeting. He's come from some good defenses. He's made some plays. So yeah, good depth signing. All right. So after free agency, we'll use him as the breaking point right there. That's the last signing that we've made for this particular wave. Jesse, give me your overall grade of the Commanders as where they're standing right now, and how that affects what you were looking at the draft.
I give it an A- right now.
Why not a B+? What's the difference?
I think the A- just looks better. You know,
He's a glass half full kind of guy.
You're right.
I think I think they had a plan, and they had multiple plans. You know, we saw some plans not work out, but they, you know, had a plan B and a C and a D. And I think, you know, we talked about this, at least my view of what the Commanders could do in order to draft someone like Love if he was there. You know, you have to have a good free agency, and you have to fill a lot of holes in defense. And I think they did that. Now, is Love going to be there at 7? I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you. But they put themselves in a position that they can draft pretty much anybody that they want to. And they didn't go overboard. Yeah, they gave a big contract to OA, but it wasn't that big. And they filled multiple holes. They got younger, they got faster, and they got better, at least on paper. The defense, which was the bane of our existence last season, was essentially, you know, made whole.
I believe that was some foreshadowing right there. Now, I don't want to give anybody the alert or the alarm or anything like that, but my dog just farted a minute ago, and that was what caused me to really kind of lose it. Not your opinion. I tell you what, I don't know what's up with him there. All right, so Scotty, same question. Give me a grade over the free agency as the wave broke this week, and then how you feel about us as we head into the draft.
Yeah, I'll give it a B, maybe a B+. There's
not
a
an
few
A-.
because they created a few holes that I didn't think they necessarily needed to create, and they didn't necessarily. And I know and I appreciate you can't fix everything in free agency. We still have 50 million to go, which is great for the second wave. But in this first wave, you've got to be happy with exactly what you've got. They turned, as Jesse said, they turned the defense, especially the edge rusher room, into now a strength, especially that front seven as it is. They've turned that into a strength rather than a weakness. I like the Leo Chanel signing. I'm really excited by Nick Cross signing as well. I think that's great. The cornerback who we got in, Robertson, from the Lions. He looks good, but again, corner is a real worry for me, as is center. And I know we can pick these sort of things up in the draft, but cutting Biadish and not having a real plan and saying, well, I'm going to go with Allegretti potentially, that worries me slightly. However, I do give Peters credit because initially we were, looking at it going after the first 2 hours, why haven't we done anything? But we're in for all these players. We're in for the Linderbaums. We're in for the Pierces. And it was almost like the bridesmaid, never the bride. But then when we look back at what we've done so far, I think, it's been a good free agency so far, not overpaid on any contracts. And we got Laramie Tunsil done as well very early, which is also another good thing. So overall, quite happy with what we're doing. And as Jesse said, going into the draft, you can't see anywhere where they wouldn't go looking at this, as long as it's not a guard or something really stupid like, oh, we picked up a tight end in the first round. I'll be like, oh, okay.
Kenyon Sadiq's good, man.
He is a good tight end, but...
All right, well, go ahead, Tony. Sorry, go ahead, Jesse.
I just want to ask Scott, just going off the center, a lot of people, Scouse is up in arms, but what if they think they don't think they considered, making another hole? What if they considered that Allegretti and Biadish were kind of on par with each other, and they felt comfortable letting Biadish go? They went after Linderbaum. But Linderbaum is he's the best center in the entire league.
Yeah, way too much to invest.
Yeah. But I'm just saying. I'm saying they felt comfortable enough letting Biadish go, extending Allegretti because, and listen, the proof is on the field. Biadish did not have a good season.
I know he
last
didn't.
Year,
right?
And when Allegretti was on the field, and he actually did pretty good. Yeah, he needs to work on his shotgun snaps a little bit, but that's something that definitely can be easily fixed. And it's a position that they feel. So I don't think they feel like they've made a hole.
I don't think they're finished digging on it.
Well,
true. The agent centers out there.
Pochich is still out there. Glasgow's still out there. There's lots of centers still out on the free agency market. If you want to go that way, all I'm looking at saying is they didn't think to themselves, "Oh, that is a place where we go." We know what Allegretti brings to the table, but we're fans. We're not here to. We're not seeing them every day. To your point, Jesse, you know what I mean. They might think, I think we're okay there.
I think. Trying to get into their mindset, they're fine if they have to go with Allegretti this year. Yeah, they'll try to upgrade, of course, and bring in some competition. But I think they're perfectly okay with if they have to go with Allegretti this year.
Well, they're going to. I think it's been the week on it. They got to have some depth there. Yeah, Tony, go ahead. I'm going to bring back the original question here to you. Give me your overall impressions of free agency, and then how you feel about where it sticks us coming into the draft.
Yeah, I think the guys have summed it up fairly well, but just I'd say sort of B as well, B plus, maybe an A minus, just to keep John happy.
What's the difference?
But yeah, look, I think that they've done a really good job of putting themselves into a position for the draft now where they've not boxed themselves into any corners.
Yep.
They've allowed themselves to be able to genuinely take best player available or best player that's going to fit whatever it is they want them to, whatever role they want to fulfill. As Jesse said, younger, faster. Every level of the defense has had some level of attention. We've got an explosive option at tight end, another solid running back. So I think they've just been smart across the board. They've not spent ridiculous amounts of money. I think that the 50 million or thereabouts is still reported to be the figure for what they have left is going to come in for. I mean, you'd have to assume that they're going to still do something at receiver, whether that's Ayuk or whether that's one of the other guys, Jennings or Diggs or somebody like that. that wide receiver too. I mean, we're probably going to come to this in terms of where we're going to look to draft or what holes are left. But the two glaring holes that are still left at the minute for me are receiver and corner.
Okay.
So those for me are, we'll come to who we're going to draft soon. But I've talked myself into and out of so many players at pick 7 in the last couple of days. It's crazy.
Exactly the same.
Tony, just to follow up on your question about the cornerback.
Go ahead,
is it when you say a hole, like is it depth or are you thinking starter?
Well, I think we've currently got what is it? Oh no, now we've signed your man Witherspoon. That's 4 corners, isn't it, on the roster? But until then, we only had 3 corners on the roster. Mm-hmm. So my concern is, obviously Mikey wasn't great last year. Is he going to play inside? Is he going to play outside? Amos will be fine. I'm a bit concerned that we've not got a lot of height in that secondary.
Sure.
We've got
we just signed the other day is like 6'2", I believe.
Yeah, so that might address that slightly. But Mikey's 5'10", I mean Robertson's 5'9". I just think they need somebody in there who's perhaps got a bit more size about them.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
I don't think they're done with the room. As far as corner goes, I don't think that they're done with the room. There's still some guys out there that they can plug in, and they're going to have to. They got to fill out at least 90 players to get through camp. For me, I'll tell you what, as the old guy in the room here, who's my fanhood started with Sonny. So for anybody who's never paid attention to this show, I go back a long ways, and I am trying to remember when we were set up so nicely heading into the draft. Now, I put this up a couple of days ago, and some people answered me. Mark Tyler answered me, said that the 2000 draft when we picked Chris Samuels and LeVar Arrington.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 2 and 3. It's kind of hard to miss at that point. Last 2 years ago, we have a quarterback rich draft. We had the second pick in the draft. We got our Jaden Daniels. There were a couple others that some folks put up, but really, I am at the situation right now with as good as I think, because I give the free agent period a solid A. Period. What they went after and got. I don't think that they were so in on Lindenbaum, whereas in the past they would have just kept throwing money. Right, our team would have just kept throwing money at it until we got a center for $38 million a year. All right, so they knew when to stop. They knew when to stop on Pierce. I think that we probably dodged a bullet there. When you look at production over what he got paid, we'll see how it goes.
I agree with you.
I tell you what, with the way we worked free agency at number 7, no matter how it falls in front of us, we are pretty much guaranteed to get a guy that can make an impact.
Yeah.
Right away.
Don't disagree. I've got to read this. Apparently,
really screws up.
So, how are you okay with Spaghetti when your QB misses 12 games last season, Jesse?
Easy. It wasn't Spaghetti's fault that he missed 12 games last season. I mean, that's just fact.
The fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah, Allegretti.
All right,
I am more comfortable.
Spaghetti.
I am more comfortable with Allegretti at center than I am with him at guard. Reason being is center is a position where they kind of help out your guards. They're not prime blockers. They rarely ever take one-on-ones. They're the ones that double up. And Allegretti's very athletic. Since we're moving into that zone run type of scheme,
he might fit it better. We don't know really.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Now, listen, is he perfect? No, he's not. He's not a perfect offensive lineman, but we could do a lot worse, and we've had a lot worse. But yeah, I feel a little bit more comfortable with him at center than I do with him at guard.
But I think what it's showing them going after Linderbaum, as they did, I think has shown that they're clearly not done it. They're not done at the position.
Sure, I think
I depth there. It's just Allegretti right now.
But I do think they went off after Linderbaum because it was the best center that in the entire league that was available.
Right,
and they were like, okay, we could really beef up this line.
Right,
yeah.
Again,
go get the bet.
Up to a point. We're not going crazy $30 million freaking dollars for a center. So I understand why they went after them. haven't gone after any other center, and there's been a lot of centers available. So kind of think of it that way too.
I do find it a bit mad when you're paying, like Las Vegas are paying $27 million a season for Lindenbaum, and then you look at the next best paid center and he's on $12 million. Right. It's like, okay. Right. You know what I mean? We're not there to, yes, we had money, but we're not there to reset the market at a position like that when you know there are centers out there who don't necessarily need to get paid that a massive amount of money. I mean, good for Biadish going to the Chargers and getting $30 million. You know what I mean? Fair play to you. You know what I mean? You've done well. You've gone away and you've actually got an upgrade on what you had here. So,
and Peters is showing that he's not going to, you know, he has a value of a player. You know, this is what the player's value is. He's not going to get, you know, held to ransom.
Apparently with Pierce, though, he had it, and Pierce decided that he was just going to take a slightly left or whatever.
I for one appreciate
that's a bullet
the
dodge,
fact,
in my opinion.
I appreciate the fact that he does have, you know, a sticking point. Like, listen, I'm not going to, you know, we've seen this. We've been there, done that. We've thrown big money at big free agents for years and years and years. And we actually have a GM that, you know, I think he's working smart. You know, let's be smart with the contracts.
We're giving him A's and B pluses for what we've just done over the last 3 weeks, and I don't think that it's hyperbole. And one of the things about being a fan of this team for as long as all of us have almost. We've seen highs in the offseason. Wow, we can do wow. And then it gets the season and it crashes and burns like nobody's business. But I don't feel it this time. I feel like they've built properly, they've built right, and they've gotten players that fit what they want to do. And I also think that because of our 2 new coordinators that have really there's no blueprint on them. There's no target on them. Nobody knows what the fuck they're going to do. We can guess what Blau is going to do based on where he's been. We can guess what they're going to do on defense. What is his name? Durante Jones. I forgot his name right off the top of my head. I didn't want to say Jones because that's too simple. Jones. We don't really know. We can guess. But when it comes to Allegretti, that's the sole reason I feel okay with it. If they look at him and they go, okay, he'll fit what we want to do. Okay. Yeah. And I believe I said maybe a month ago when we cut Biadish, watch, Allegretti's our center. You'll see.
He played very well when Biadish got
snapped over the head a few times.
You know, and listen, Big Brock 46 says, well, he let some defenders go through in that Green Bay game, which led some wear and tear on JD5. So did every other offensive lineman during that game. You know, I mean, listen, Trent Williams lets guys go. It's going to happen, you know, but
Trent might let a few go on purpose this year.
That's true.
He's not happy.
That's true.
He might
but
say,
I think they are, if they have to go with Allegretti this year at center, I think they're okay with that.
I believe so. But again, there's no depth. They have to. And at corner, I also believe that's what they're going to have to do. Yeah. So we did promise that we're going to talk about the draft. And I was kind of setting this up with where we want to go in the draft. And like I said, I think at 7, anything we want to do, unless we colossally fuck it up and draft a tackle. You know,
right? Somebody
or something like that.
I saw a mock draft yesterday. Maybe it was the day before yesterday. And I read it like an hour before I listened to the Kevin Sheehan show. And they talked about it too. Someone a big mocker had us taking the tackle from Miami.
You know what that was? That was that guy's AI going, really again, dude? Jesus Christ, fine.
It was one of the NFL. It was one of the NFL.com guys. I mean, I think they've got to the stage now with mock drafts where they're just bored. And I think it was Charles Davis or Bucky Brooks.
It was Charles Davis.
Had the Cardinals picking Ty Simpson at number 3.
Dude,
you know how I love Charles Davis, right? Charles Davis is the epitome of the guy who looks at the sheet for a second and I got it. I figured it all out. I know it all. He's the dude that comes to town on Thursday and then makes comments during the game on Sunday that are dumb as shit. And you know it because you pay attention to the team on Tuesday and Wednesday, just like the rest of us. But he comes to town and tries to make himself sound like such a flipping genius while he's on the television. I can't stand Charles Davis. Y'all know it. Every time he's doing our game, I spend half the time on our chat bitching. Goddamn Charles Davis. Jesus Christ. I can't stand him. And that's exactly why he probably did make that pick. He was probably like, oh, they picked the right tackle last year. They probably need a left tackle this year.
But he actually didn't even say that. His rationale was something about strengthening up at right tackle or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and we just picked a right tackle last year, and a lot of people are saying that he could be a candidate to be moved inside at guard. A lot of people are talking about that because he has shorter arms, kind of like the Brandon Sheriff situation with us. But again,
guard,
it's just ridiculous. We're going to get an impact player no matter if it's an edge, if it's a cornerback, if it's a running back, if it's a whatever the team feels like, who's ever there and they feel like they can make an impact, that's going to be it. What I've been watching a lot of film on Bane lately. Man, I'm like, I love Sonny Styles. I love Bane. David Bailey's freaking amazing. You can go the defensive back route in Caleb Downs. If you want to get a wide receiver, everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to, or somebody's going to be there for the.
You're jumping the gun. All right, hold on. You're jumping the gun. Okay, here we go. So we're going to put the Speedy Bongos on because I already paid Detlef to come in to play them. And let him get us out from underwater. Am I underwater? All right. Going to run around the room real fast. Offense, defense. Which way you want to go at 7? Offense, defense. Offense, defense. Jesse, offense, defense.
I want a weapon, but only one weapon that I want for Jaden, and that's
offense, defense. God damn it, this ain't hard. Offense, defense. He said offense. Scott, what are you saying?
Defense.
All right. What about you, Tony?
I was going to cop out and say depends who's been taken, but I'm edging closer to offense now.
All right, yeah, I'm going to go offense there, and that's good.
I'm going to say defense because I don't think an offensive player is going to be there that I would want this team to draft.
All right, well then let's start with defense. All right, I'm going to say a name, and let's just go 1 to 10. If we draft him, how are you going to feel? 10 being ecstatic, 1 being oh my god, I'm heading straight for the bridge, and I'm jumping. All right, so at number 7, we take David Bailey. How are you going to feel there, Scotty?
Yeah, it's a good 8. I'm happy.
All right, how about you, Tony?
Yeah, great. Yeah, 8, 9.
Okay, 8 or 9. Jesse, what about you?
A 10.
A 10.
10. Yeah, David Bailey's best pass rusher in this class. He would be I just think he's going 2.
Okay, all right. I would be a little less happy. I mean, I know I fell in love with him early, but I think that right now we've done a good job at building the edge. That I would be maybe a 7. I'll be happy for the future of it, but
think about this, John. Though, like we have edge, but we have 3 of our edge rushers are only on contract for this year.
Yeah.
Okay,
correct. And it's one of them positions that you're going to end up paying if it works out a lot of money.
I'll be a 7. Like I said, I'll be a 7, depending on who's left and we didn't take. That would make me a 7. All right, so Caleb Downs, where would you be with that? Let's start with you, Tony.
I'd be okay with it. There would have to have been a lot of guys gone before I'd be happy with that. Even as much as I think Downs I've watched a lot of Downs the last couple of weeks, and his tackling and his recognition is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. But if there were 4 or 5 other guys still available, I would take them over him.
I've been watching a lot. 7. I've been watching a lot of Downs too, and honestly, if you just give those people a chance, they can do anything that you can do.
Dick.
I know. I had to go. All right, sorry. This is that kind of podcast.
Downs can tackle, so that rules me out.
All right. I would be a solid 9 if we drafted Downs. I would love that pick. And I know, Jesse, you don't think value is worth it for safety. I don't care. Quarterback on the field, the dude knows what the fuck he's doing no matter what. And I think he's the kind of player that can be bucking for all-pro almost every year.
I don't know.
Agreed.
He's a product of that defense right there.
But he is that defense.
His recognition is incredible.
Yep. Scotty, you agreed?
I'm a 9. Yeah, absolutely. He's my favorite. I've been on this hype train for months. I like Mansour Delane as well, which we'll get into, I'm sure, in a minute. But I'm a 9. I think he's an amazing talent. I think this degenerate knee condition is a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
I just think that's nonsense that we're hearing. I just think it's people trying to make stuff up, as we talked about, because they're bored. There's nothing to talk about. I think it'd be a fantastic draft pick, even at 7. If you could draft back a little bit and maybe pick him up at 9, something like that, yeah, I'll take that. And maybe get something a little bit later. The same would be for Delane when we get to him, I'm sure.
All right, well, let's stick with Ohio State since they had the big pro day.
Hey, I haven't gave my rating for downs.
Go on, go right ahead. Rex
a 5.5.
With his
5.5.
What?
He's a good
5.5.
player. Yeah, 5.5.
Okay,
But there's a lot of other players I would take before him. He's good. Listen, he's a solid player. He's a solid player. He could very well be an all-pro at some point in time. But there is a reason why safeties aren't taken in the top 10 because of positional value. I mean, and just sorry.
But you can't be.
I know what he does. I mean, you
know
can't
what he's
just boil
doing.
it down to all numbers all the time. But I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact, but with this draft, I can see why you would take him maybe earlier because there's just not that whole bunch of top talent, available in the front of this draft.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's other players I would take well in front of Downs.
Have you seen the Dane Brugler take the Athletics draft guy on this positional value thing?
No.
It's fascinating. You should if you haven't listened to Building the Beast on the Athletic, listen to it. It's fantastic. It's been on every week for the last few weeks. But he was saying now that he understands positional value like we all do, and that different positions are worth more, depends on contract value, whatever it is. But he says he wants the term to be changed now from positional value to impact value.
Yeah.
And what impact? Forget the positional value, whether it's financial or whether it's how it relates to the field. The game's changing. Safeties are more valuable than they have been before, and the impact, whether it's a safety or a running back or a non-premium position, that now it should be more about the impact that they're going to make than the positional value. So he's making the campaign now that they should change it to impact value.
I agree, and I think that no matter what, you can't put everybody in the same basket when it comes to that kind of thing. And you can't say, okay, well, this guy might be Ed Reed, and you draft Ed Reed every time. But at the same time, if he's the guy that fits you best and can give you exactly what you need, because I don't care what anybody says, BPA and need go hand in hand every time. Then he is your guy. Period. That makes his positional value high.
I disagree with that.
All right.
There's another factor that nobody's talking about when it comes to this is we just signed Nick Cross, and they're very similar.
Well, okay, but
not at all.
The other fellow we're talking about over there was Quan. So
shite.
Right. So Stunny Styles. We're staying in Ohio State. Stunny Styles. They can't speak right now. Stunny Styles. Sunny Styles. Where are you on Sunny Styles, Jesse? You can start us off.
I'm 8.5, probably 9. A 9 on
really? Okay, because when we initially did this, you were out on Sunny Styles. So then what brought you around?
Listen, I
way around.
I went back and watched, and I think he is a commander in the middle of the field. Styles he would be fantastic in the middle of this defense. Fucking fantastic.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, kudos to you for going back and looking. And if your opinion got changed, it got way changed. So that's good. What about you, Scotty? Where are you on Sunny Styles if we picked him?
It's an 8. He can be the middle linebacker, green dot guy. He's a glue guy for the Ohio State defense. Yeah, I'm happy. Again, any of these Ohio State players, I don't have a problem with.
Right. You know me. I love linebackers. If we draft a linebacker from the number 1 defense in the country at Ohio State, I am throbbing. What about you?
Something we haven't had since Fletcher, man. Real good middle line.
Yeah.
Somebody that goes sideline to sideline like that. Just it changes everything, man. Everything. When your defense can shut people down, it is so satisfying. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I love him. I ever since I saw him and then watched a bit of his tape and then watched the combine, and as much as anything else actually, and this is probably slightly different, but listening to him, I heard him interviewed 3 or 4 times, and
he's bright.
The guy is absolutely sharp as a tack.
Green dot, man.
Yeah. That sideline to sideline, that speed. We've added speed to the defense, and he would be great.
Yeah. He's going at the Giants at 5. I don't see him outlast him 5. Yeah. Harbaugh wants that middle linebacker. That's exactly what he's going for there.
I'm thinking they're going to go Downs at 5.
I was thinking Downs is the other one because of the Kyle Hamilton thing.
They're looking at Love if he slides past Tennessee. But that's offense. We're going to get to offense in our next episode because this is how we do it all the time. We get to talking, and that's the way it goes. All right, one more guy from Ohio State, Arvell Reese. How would you feel if Arvell Reese was drafted? Tony, we'll start with you.
I'm not bothered about.
I'd be like a 6.
I'm still absolutely fine if they take Reese. I mean, all through the draft process, he's been most people's number 2. I think there seems to be some doubt as to whether, he's an off-the-ball linebacker or an edge rusher, and that he's very raw as an edge rusher, and that he's more of a project. But at the same time, the guy is another one of these Ohio State phenomenal athletes. So look, it'd be a 7 or an 8. I think I prefer Styles personally, but there is the chance, obviously, that a lot of people are envisaging him to be some kind of Micah Parsons potential. Someone that played off the ball who's going to develop into a killer off the edge. So if he does that, then obviously that's a great player. But yeah, look, I've got about 7 or 8 players that I'd be absolutely fine if we took. So
okay. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing about a 6, Brock. By the way, go Nittany Lions. I've gone home with 6s and been quite happy. So
I'll say this: you're crazy for just a 6.
Yeah, I know. It's just because of how well we've done in that area on the defense right now. I think that one would leave me just a little underwhelmed, but I would not at all be unhappy with it in any way.
Well, he's number 1 on a lot of guys.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, I haven't looked too far into Reese just because of the fact that he's not going to be there when we pick at 7.
I think he's going way early. The Jets are too.
I think it kind of depends on what Arizona does. I think they're going offensive tackle, but I don't see him getting past the Titans or at 4. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think the Jets take him at 2. I think the Jets take him at 2.
I think the Jets were taking either Bailey or Reese. And the Cardinals are going to take whoever's left.
All right. Well, let me stick with the edge here, and say Kedrick Falk. Scotty, how would you feel if we draft Kedrick Falk?
Fucking
5. Yeah. I just think he's the one that would give you the least. He's the least pleasing edge rusher that's in the top 5. I would say trade back to mid round. 13, 15, 17, that sort of, and you could pick up a Falk. There's nothing wrong with him. I think he's a good edge, but he's not got that blue chip potential next to him.
He's not a top 10 pick.
All right, well, we're going to go speed round here. Ruben Bain, what about you, Tony? What do you think about Ruben Bain? If we drafted Bain, where would you be?
I'd be delighted. I mean, I think, Scott's made the point historically about the arm length, but again, I think it was the Athletic show this week where they were saying, everybody knows about the arm length, but when you see guys with short arms before, and they listed half a dozen examples, they said it all shows up on tape. You watch guys with short arms, it always shows up on tape. So you watch Bain.
I looked it up because somebody kept telling me that about the short arms. I said, who was the guy that held the record before him? And it was Kyle Van Noy. Yeah, I don't think Kyle Van Noy is a number 7 overall pick.
And there's an argument as well that Bain actually uses, not necessarily uses the short
Bain
arms
is a beast,
but his sort of shorter, stockier physique that he actually, there was a load of photos posted. I know they were still frames, so still frames can show you anything, but the bend on the guy,
it's crazy.
And if he bends, gets low, and then gets up, you're done. Power. So I have no issue with Bain, and I'd be delighted if it was Bain.
The cool thing about Bain is you can put him in a 3-4 at outside linebacker or the end because he's got that power to be able to do both, and he's so quick to be able to rush the outside.
He can play 5 tech.
Yeah, I would have him at a solid 8 to 9. I've been watching a lot of him lately, and he just bullies people.
He's nasty.
Yeah, all right. He's nasty.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to run through cornerback here. I got a couple of cornerbacks to name off, and then I've got a top 10 we're going to get to. I got some nifty stuff I want to show you guys. Fun stuff. All right, and then we'll do some offense. Because who the fuck's going anywhere? I ain't. Let's see here. Okay, let's go to cornerback. Mansour Delane. If Mansour Delane is our pick, I'm
10.
fucking thrilled. I'm a 9.5, 10. Bing.
Unbelievable. He has grown enormously on me. One about watch tape. I watched what he did at LSU coming out of Virginia Tech. He was good. He went, fuck you, I'm going to LSU. I'm going to go and play myself against the SEC. Nobody threw to him. 23 yards twice was the highest that anyone ever targeted him. The QBR rating against him was huge. He's as lockdown corner as you can possibly get.
Yep.
This guy what is he running, a 4.38? I mean, I know it's a pro day, so realistically, you could say he's got 4.4 speed. Let's be honest about it. This kid, he's going to be ridiculous in this league wherever you go. I just hope he doesn't go to Dallas and he drops off and he ends up at 12. That's all I can say. I think he'll be long gone before then. I think someone like the Bengals will take him. If we don't, at 10, I would be delighted if we get him. Honestly, we need a corner. It's a key position of
receivers
need
in our division.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd be thrilled. I'm with you. I'd be at least a 9.5. What about you, Tony?
Yeah, I like him as well. I'd be delighted. Like I said before, I think receiver and corner are the two real weaknesses that we have left. And I'd have a real dilemma if Bain and/or Bailey were there as well. At that point, so this is the whole dilemma. I keep changing my mind. I like Delane. If they pick him, that's fine. But if Bain's there, or if Bailey's there, or even if Styles is there, it's like, which way do you go? I'm kind of fine with any of it. But yeah, I think Delane certainly deserves to be in that conversation for that pick.
Yeah, it's a who's there. Listen, I'd be fine. I'd be fine with the pick. I think he's going to be a solid corner in this league. Y'all know I've been talking about Mansour Delane for months now.
You have,
and
he's a local guy.
I would not be upset with it. I think it'd probably be a 7 because if we picked Mansour Delane, that means that our other top picks are already,
maybe he is our top pick. Well, I mean, we have shown interest in him. Now, there's other cornerbacks that are kind of considered to be damn good, but
he's the best cornerback in this draft.
Yeah, and I think it's not even close. So Jermod McCoy from Tennessee.
Yeah, he's a 7.
Well,
he's a very good cornerback.
But there's every chance that McCoy could have been the top corner in the draft, but he didn't play. He didn't play in 25. He did his
That's
ACL.
just ridiculous. You got to go watch him, Brock. Sorry, buddy, but you are wrong on that.
No, I'm just saying that he was very highly regarded before he did his ACL.
Okay.
No. I wasn't talking to you, Tony. I was talking to Brock. What he was saying about
I didn't see what he said.
Bain. He said he got Bain at a 3. That's silly. Silly.
Well,
all right. So Avion Terrell from Tulane. Terrell and McCoy, they might be very good cornerbacks, but for one, if it's not Delane, I'm passing just because I don't necessarily want to take a junior.
True. Yeah. And I'd rather trade back. And if you go and be looking at them and saying, and that's when you're in the Kendrick Folks, you're in the Thiedemans, you're in the them that sort of range of players. Then it's like, okay, I can get a player, but they're going to be good and they're going to fit and they're going to be, they're going to do what a first round pick should do, but they're not going to be necessarily that blue chip. This guy could be an all pro in a couple of years' time type player.
All right. So,
and I just don't think all of these players that we talked about will be gone at 7. They can't be.
Dude, there's only 6 of them are going to be gone. 6 players are going to be gone.
5.
There could be 2 of them tackles.
Well, 5 are going to be gone because obviously
Mendoza.
Mendoza's one. Yeah. So
Mendoza and at least one tackle are going to go.
I think so too.
At least one tackle.
All right. So speaking of some stupid shit, we've gotten a hold of a video of the newest Washington Commanders International Fan of the Year that I didn't think he wanted to have get out into the public area there. Is he in the chat, by the way? Is Andy Burroughs around here somewhere? Right now, here we go. Let's see what we got. Big Brock says, I'd take Mansour over Baines Jr., Downs, and Love in a heart. Oh, I tell you what, if they did take Mansour, I'd be freaking happy. I'd be happy with any of those guys, but probably of the least would make me Bain. All right, so anyway, this is the International Fan of the Year. Now, look, I'm not trying to start anything political, but just, maybe y'all should pay attention to who you're picking.
Keep it gay, keep it light, keep it fresh, keep it fair. Let it bloom every night. Give it room, Never stand still. Keep your love a lovely dream and never wake it. Come on, Mike. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
Yep.
Now, you'd have never caught last year's international.
Sounds
fan
about
base.
right.
Exactly. You never caught me in a gay bar.
No. See, here we go. Do you have that? He found himself in a gay bar.
No, I didn't. No,
No?
there is. Yeah. No.
Keep it gay, keep it light, keep it fresh, keep it fair. Let it bloom every night. Give it room. Never stand still. Keep your love a lovely dream and never wake it. Come on, Mike. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
I can't wait when he makes a pick. I can't wait.
I hope it's a seriously long name. I just want it to be like a ridiculous
There's a
name.
lot of F's and S's in it.
The upper,
With the 14th pick, with
Junior.
Brown, that's what I'm looking for. I want them to have to put some freaking some crawl underneath him to tell people what he said.
Some form of Russian sumo wrestler.
I love it. I love you, Andy. I think it's great that you're the International Fan of the Year. Trust me when I tell you, it doesn't get you jack shit nothing but a trip to Pittsburgh. There you go.
Correct.
There you go. You get a T-shirt that says Efodio on the back, and everybody goes, "Who the hell's that?"
You got some nice kit out of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
And you got some nice stuff out of it. Although I can't see your mini helmets anymore. All right, we do have a top 10 today. So let me get some music on here. All right. Am I drowned out by the music?
No, you're good.
Okay. Is it even there?
No music.
No music.
There it is.
All right, there it is. I know Scott digs the music, so
I love the music.
all right. Top 10 draft rumors that we're looking at right now. Top 10 rumors that we are following. All right, let me shift everybody here. I think it's this one. There we go. All right, top 10 NFL rumors that we are following here in March. Number 10, quarterbacks nationwide are breathing a sigh of relief as Cleveland appears to be eyeing offensive linemen, causing several prominent offensive linemen to ask the FBI for protection. You really can't blame them. There's two reasons that's really bad, because they might end up the center, number one, there in Cleveland, and number two, you might have Deshaun Watson.
I was going to say, Deshaun's your man.
Yeah, you don't want that. The number 9 top 10 NFL rumors: San Francisco 49ers are rumored to be interested in a wide receiver that they can exploit and misuse until he gets hurt, and then fucking with their treatment plan. All right, so if anybody's in the draft that's looking for something like that, that might be where it comes from. There we go. Number 8, top 10 NFL rumors. Now, this is more of a prediction. In a first, the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, misses the first night of the draft after having gone out drinking Jaeger bombs the night before with the Washington Commanders International Fan of the Year.
Send me that.
Come on, Roger. All right. Okay, number 7, NFL rumors. Donald Trump hints that after Iran and Cuba, he may bomb the New York Jets in order to free all their players from their endless oppression. I know, it's stupid. Number 6, top 10 NFL rumors. Kicker Jaffer Murphy. Did you read about this dude?
Yeah, I did.
4.540 and hit a 70-yard field goal, but he did not pay me to mention his name during this segment, so fuck him. Number 5, top 10 NFL rumors. Jordan Tyson stuns the draft with a custom-built suit by BMW designed for maximum style and protection. That's going to be something. I'm surprised there's no Rottweiler inside the pen. Keep everybody away from his fucking fragile ass. All right, the number 4 top 10 NFL rumor. Reuben Bain's arms are so short, he employs a little person to help him masturbate. There's the fellow right there. Poor guy. Number 3, draft rumors that we're looking at. The Raiders are planning on submitting 2 draft cards on the chance Fernando Mendoza is arrested by ICE while walking to the stage for having one of them their names. Funny. Number 2, according to Donald Trump invented the draft and has been responsible for the greatest picks in the history of football, which he also invented. Many people say it's the greatest football there is, beating soccer by a mile, which he says was a very lame sport, and till he said that maybe they should kick the ball and try to put it into a goal, just like hockey, which he invented when he was the king of Canada in the late 1800s. Okay.
It's all true. It's all true.
All true, 100%. Number one draft rumor that we're following: after embarrassing himself by pretending everybody calls him Iceman. Caleb Williams now insists everybody in Chicago always calls him Sweetness.
Yeah, he'd probably do that as well.
Oh my goodness!
What a clown! I'm glad George Gorvin went after him. Who the hell calls him Iceman?
Nobody. Oh my god, it's so fucking like I heard that on the radio. I'm like, who the fuck calls him that? Nobody calls him that.
I've never heard of it. I don't know. All right, so let's get to offense here, unless you guys got something else to do. So there's our fun segment of the day. Let me turn off our music.
That's exactly it, Paulie. You are correct. Caleb Fruitcake Williams.
I think he could have that name. That would work for me. I would also take Ooty Tooty Fruity Caleb Williams. That would be kind of cool. All right, let's see. Offensively, same game. All right, I'm going to call off a name, and if we ended up drafting him at number 7, I don't have as many names on here as we had before. Tell me how you feel. At number 7, if we took Jeremiah Love, Jesse, let's go ahead and start. Let you go ahead and cream all over the freaking screen.
It'd be 100 for me.
100. There you go. Boing. What about you, Scott? How would you feel?
It's an 8. Yeah, he's a good player, and we need a Jameer Gibbs type back. I'm happy.
Tony, you feel the same way?
I've come around to the idea now. I was quite anti it to begin with because I was set on an edge, and then obviously, we're still not completely set at edge. But the idea of sort of turbocharging the offense is quite attractive. So yeah, look, the guy's different class, so be fine. Absolutely 9.5.
Yeah, I can't help but say I'd have to be. I think practically everybody that we're going to name on this offensive list, except for maybe one guy, is going to make me feel, pretty raging. And yeah, what's up, Andre Redskins? Hail to you, sir. Hail to the Redskins. And you'd have to look at it and just get real tantalized. And I know I've said that, that Saquon didn't help the Giants or anything like that. Tell me what. And I know Brock out there believes in me just when I tell you this. If we ever had Saquon, if we got Saquon, my God. You know what? The Japanese Air Force would have had to shoot my dick down because I would have been tromping all over Tokyo with that Godzilla with as big as it would have been picking up Saquon Barkley. That was my favorite. So Jeremiah Love, yeah, I'd take him. All right, what about Parnell?
Like with me with Love, he's just one of those players that just provides a weapon for Jaden, and it's something that for anybody. That we really need. And we talked about this, weeks ago when I brought it up, what if we drafted an offensive player? We'd have to do a whole hell of a lot on the defense before I would have been comfortable drafting an offensive player. And turns out we did.
We sure did. That's why I say any which way we go.
Yeah. I truly feel Love is the best player in the draft, bar none.
I feel it makes the world go round. Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, I think everyone can do with a little love, can't they, John? So yeah.
I think so, Scott. I mean, we all understand that what you're trying to say is that you just like to bugger everything that walks by. But we'll go ahead and leave it in your language. You're so flat.
Did you say butter?
Bugger.
The bugger. I thought it was like.
I can't believe that's not bugger.
Butter, like Marlon Brando in Last Tango in Paris.
No.
Now, see, I didn't watch that movie strictly because they said, it sounds like a porno movie, but Marlon Brando's in it. What do I want to...
Come here, baby. I'll tell you something. I haven't had a pair of thighs like this around my ears in so long.
I just couldn't see it.
Just Google Marlon Brando and butter.
No. Not safe.
Really. Let's like Google Orson Welles and vibrator. No, I'm not doing that either. All right. So Jeremiah Love, we'd all be freaking amazingly happy with that.
Happy, yeah.
Carnell Tate. Carnell Tate. We'll start with you, Tony.
If they decide that Carnell Tate is good enough to be taken at 7 over other guys who are going to be there, because if we stick at 7, some of these guys that we've already talked about are there.
Yeah. And
I would prefer them to be taken over Tate. If they decide that they see Tate as being a complement to Terry, someone who can potentially take over Terry, then I'm going to have to trust their judgment. Personally, I wouldn't take him at 7, and I think I'd be a bit upset because I still think they're going to do something else at receiver anyway. Yeah. So
okay.
I would be surprised and probably slightly disappointed, and that's not a reflection on Tate because I think Tate could be a really good receiver.
Okay.
But I think there are probably better options.
What about you, Scotty?
Yeah, I'd be about 6. I think maybe a 5 or 6. Just
far
purely
involved.
because I think that like Tony, why I'm looking at this saying, why would you take him over the players that we've just discussed already? There's
Right.
more needs on this team than that. You can fix wide receiver by paying someone like Jennings or going and getting a Brandon Ayuk.
Can you though?
No, but you can
that's
because he is not a wide receiver one.
Yeah.
That's
No.
it. He isn't.
Well, I mean, not yet, dude. These guys aren't. They haven't
you're
even played
saying-
yet. You know,
you're saying
I
that
refuse
you-
to
hang on, you're
buttonhole
saying-
them into one thing there.
Okay, but you're saying not yet, and I understand that as not
Guys
yet.
can
I
grow.
get it. Of course they can. Look at Terry. He's an outlier. He was a 3rd round pick. He's a wide receiver 1. That's totally fine. I understand that.
Jesse
But
calls him elite.
next year's draft is got better wide receiver prospects than this year's draft. So
Okay, until maybe
Off
one
of
of them
me.
gets hurt.
All right.
if you,
all right.
okay, you're a
if you
six.
trade
Jesse,
him
where are
back,
you?
if you trade him back to 15, that's fine. Take him.
Okay, what about
All
you,
right.
Jesse?
Listen, I think Tate is going to be a good player. But if you're drafting a wide receiver in the top 10, that needs to be a great player. And like Scott said, he's had 3 years to move into that wide receiver 1 role at Ohio State, and he has not done that. So
Well, you're
why
never
would
going to be
you-
number 1 against Jeremiah bloody Smith.
Okay, but you have to be, if you're not, he couldn't do it the year before or the year before or you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I just don't see him as a wide receiver more than a wide receiver. I think he's going to be a really good wide receiver too, but when you have those other players like we talked about on the defense and they're going to be there too, I would take all of them before I would take Carnell Tate.
So, all right,
Not-
okay. At number 7,
I'm not,
I agree-
yeah. At number 7,
I kind of
and-
agree with Scotty. If we trade it down to get him,
exactly.
sorry,
Me too.
go ahead.
If we traded back,
Yeah.
that's another story. But again, I think like this receiver class this year, there's other receivers you can probably get in the 3rd round that
Okay.
might.
See, I was
be-
higher on him
I
before.
think, like just a tad bit lower than Tate or the top 3 in this draft. I just don't think this wide receiver top end. They just don't have any top end wide receivers in this draft.
I think
Next year,
if we ended up with Carnell Tate, I'd be like a 7 with that because,
It'd
in
be a
my
4.
opinion, look, there is very few things that are guaranteed in life, but one of them is that Ohio State receivers are going to be goddamn pretty fucking good. It's as blue chip as it gets, and if we picked Carnell Tate, to me, it means they've done their homework and they believe that he can be what they need him to be.
Well, that was my point. I think
Right, 'cause they were awfully interested in talking to him this week.
Yeah, and you've got guys who are obvious top 5, top 10 receivers. So your DeMar Chases, your Neighbors, all those kind of guys back in the day, AJ Green and those boys. But you look at the top receivers in the NFL now. Jefferson was picked in the 20s, JSN was picked in the 20s, Puka was picked in the 5th round, and Amon-Ra St. Brown was picked in the 4th round. So none of these guys were going to be receiver 1s. I mean, Jalen Reagor was picked before Justin Jefferson. So.
Yeah.
Giammi Brown was picked before Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's look at a couple other receivers. We'll start with you there, Tony. Let's Jordan Tyson.
Great talent. It's hard to overlook. He's probably the number 3 of the number 3 of the big 3. I actually, in some ways, I actually like Lemon the best of all of them. But you'll come to that in a minute. But yeah, look, Tyson's unbelievable. But for a player who is so supposedly fragile, it's difficult to invest a top 10 pick in that.
Scott,
Yeah, you can't stay on the field. You can't do it. It'd be
The best
it'd be a
zero.
one-
availability is the best ability.
0.
Yeah, 0. I
Absolute
got to
0.
agree. I have
He's-
no interest in him right now.
He's got 2 hamstring injuries. He's done his ACL, his MCL, his PCL on the same knee. It's
He
just
won't
not
even
gonna
work
happen.
out because he's worried about
I don't
money.
even think he'll be a 1st round pick.
Somebody will
I'm putting it out there.
Look,
I'm
I'll tell
putting
you
it out
what,
there.
somebody's going to jump on him because he's got too much talent for somebody to ignore, and somebody
You
will.
might, at the very back end, you're probably saying, or maybe someone like Cleveland who's got 2 first round
Fucking
picks.
Bruce Allen.
Somebody will take him.
Bruce Allen pick. Look at him.
Give me
Top
Mike
5
Tyson.
except for all the injuries.
I know. Well, we got one more that's people are talking about in the first
Kyle
round
Lemon.
as far as
All right.
Lemon go.
I like him.
I like Makai Lemon. If we ended up with Makai Lemon, I'd be about a 7. I'd probably be a little bit higher. I mean, he's Terry.
I said I like Lemon best of the bunch, and you know, everybody's comparing him to Amaral St. Brown, the USC thing. The fact that they look the same, and it's probably a bit of a lazy comparison, but at the same time, you can see it.
I compared them to Terry. They're about the same size. Terry might be a little
I'm just not a big fan of any of these receivers in our position at the 7. Now listen, you know, you can go back to the 3rd round, you know, or if we trade back into the end of the 1st round, you got Denzel you know, you got the Boston, you got Cooper Jr.,
Jacoby Lane.
You know, you even further back, you got Malachi Fields. That's the guy that I'm looking at in the 3rd round. Jacoby Lane is a very, very good receiver. You got
Casey Concepcion.
Conception. Yep. You got this guy Hurst from Georgia something or other. I mean, there's guys.
Ted Hurst, James.
Let me ask you this. Just on the surface, all right. Terry McLaurin, Treylon Burks, McCaffrey, Jalen Lane, De'Ami Brown, Van Jefferson, who I swear to God sounds like a dancer from a 1940s movie. If obviously we've got to make another move, whether it's to wait for Brandon Ayuk or to move on Jefferson or something like that. But looking at that room, I honestly don't think it's as bad as everybody seems to want to think it is. It needs a number 2. But what's the potential that Treylon Burks brings? We really don't know what he's got there, but obviously they like him. What if he's able to fulfill a role that we didn't think that he would do?
You know, we know a receiver's coming, and that receiver's name's Ayuk.
I would say
now. I think we do need to sign another one.
Back real quick. Sorry, I'll give you that in a minute. Just to keep last year when we did the first 53, when we got our first 53, I said, "Oh my God, our wide receivers are so fucking light. It's going to bite us in the ass." So I hope we don't do that again. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm saying I do believe Ayuk's coming. I think most of the fan base are pretty on that. Now that's still a coin flip on whether he's healthy enough, which in all indication is that he is, and his head's there. But we're gonna need something else, and I would like to draft one in the 3rd round. That's where I'm kind of looking at, and I think one of the next tier, that 3rd tier receivers, is very close to the 1st tier receivers in this class. Now, none of that's going to replace Terry. The only chance I think the only chance that we replace Terry this year is if Ayuk potentially works out. Now, next year, that's where I think we replace Terry.
Yeah, I think with the money as well. The money. You're not paying Terry over $30 million a year. You're just not doing that.
I don't think it's a guarantee. I just think he's gone after this.
No, he's going to have to
renegotiate.
We already knew that.
I think next year's draft class with the wide receivers, man, there's going to be some killer wide receivers available in next year's draft.
You can kick the can down the road a little ways, and we're going to have to in some ways because we're still in a position where we have to do a lot of building. And I just think that they've done a good job of that this year. So are there any other, let's say Jeremiah Love is not on their radar or it doesn't fall to us. Are there other running backs further in the draft that you'd be interested in? Or I mean, we've got what looks like to me a halfway decent committee room. It really does.
His RB2 at Notre Dame's pretty fucking good, man. I know. He's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So but would you draft one? I mean,
we got to listen. I don't think so, just because of the fact that we don't have many draft picks this year. We don't have a 2nd, we don't have a 4th
yet.
Do we pick one up in like with one of our 6th or 7th? I doubt it. You draft Jeremiah Love because he's a weapon. That's why you draft. You don't draft him just because you need a running back. You're drafting him high because he is a game changer, so to speak. He's one of them running backs that you can't really, let go because it's like once. And I hate the word generational. I fucking hate it. But he's that dude.
Well, maybe. I mean, yeah, it looks like it. And the thing about it is I think that what makes him tantalizing is, he's the one cut guy and he's gone. I think Bill has that potential as well. I'm not writing him off by any stretch, and I know people are going to look at him and go, "Oh, he's just a 7th round pick." But hey, dude, give him an off season in an NFL program. Let him get another. He didn't play football for a year. You know what I mean? And then last year he came in and he turned it on sort of at the end of the year. If we went into this season with the 4 running backs that we have in the room right now, I'd be fine with that. I would think that, you know, if you got to kick a can down the road, when you say generational, I hate that word too, because when it comes to a running back, there's like one every other year. You know, there's a guy like this every other year.
But there's not like a handful to choose from, you know, just like it's just like,
okay,
there's not many Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinsons, you know, there's only a few teams that have those types of running backs. But again,
Kyron Williams is a 5th round pick. Right.
Okay, but he's not those other quarterbacks. He's that tier below, you know. And another good thing about Love is that not many people. He is a fucking maniac pass protector. Yeah. Bill is not. He is terrible
not yet.
At it.
Not yet.
And that's why Bill.
Yeah, that's why he didn't get as much touches last year. I'm pretty sure of that.
I think
that Kingsbury guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think in a draft that's kind of widely considered to be lacking in elite blue chip players, you know, the consensus seems to be that there's a lot of good players, but there's no real kind of superstar talents there. That Love is one of the few that actually, you know, would appear. And again, I hate the word generational as well, but one of the few guys that could be an all-pro in his first year.
Paulie's throwing me softballs.
Yeah, hey, draft them wide receivers. That'll get you to the goddamn playoffs there. Hey. Matt Millen there, boy, he knew what to do. He ended up getting lucky with one of them, and Charles Johnson was another one, and he drafted Charles Johnson and ended up with 12 kids. So, you know, that's how you build your team right
there. Anyway, sorry, I'm reading the chat. I got to stop doing that. All right, so there's really not a whole lot left on offense. Is there somebody else at 7 that you think that they would draft that would make you
not at 7, but and it's kind of moot now because we just signed Chig, but Kenyon Sadiq is a badass fucking tight end. But we
turn him into your wide receiver too.
We can't draft him. We can't draft him with the number 7 pick. But
I'm
he's
glad
going to
you
be good.
Okonkwo, because really, when we talk about this need at wide receiver, we forget what he brings to the table. What he brings to the team is a whole other wide receiver practice.
We still need another boundary receiver.
We do,
you know,
but
we really do.
He brings a whole dimension that we have been lacking really since Jordan Reed in the few games that he could put together every year. When you get right,
I wouldn't call him as skilled as Jordan Reed. He was a fucking unicorn, man.
Oh, if he could have stayed healthy, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to say. Watch and see. Chig Okonkwo is my favorite signing of the offseason.
I think he's going to be good. Listen, I honestly do, but you know, if like Tony said, if Reed could stay healthy, he would have been an all-time great.
Sure.
He just couldn't stay healthy.
I'm seeing the same thing in Chig Okonkwo. You watch. And plus, we do lead the league now in Chigosiums, and that is important. So, Scott, is there anybody else you can think of that you would draft at 7? No?
No.
All right, then. We will call this one a day, and we will come back, I don't know, next time. Might be Friday. It might be Saturday. Saturday seems to be fun.
What's the let's we got to do Fridays. We get bigger crowds on the Fridays.
Yeah, you people on Saturday.
We got to go on before the draft again. We need to get Ken on here.
Oh yeah, I would say we got at least 1 or 2 because you're going to Pittsburgh, right? Who else is going to Pittsburgh? Just you, Scotty? You going to Pittsburgh?
No.
Good for you. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh.
Yep, me and Andy are flying to Pittsburgh. On the
I would suggest you go get in line now.
The fan of the year bus. Hopefully TSA is funded by then, or otherwise I'm going to be hitchhiking.
We've defeated.
Lorna came back from Houston yesterday, and she actually got lucky because she was told 4 to 5 hours in the queue at TSA in Houston, and it was actually she got through in 3.
I'm lucky that I'm flying out of this local airport that nobody fucking goes to. So nobody goes to the fucking.
He sits on top of a pack of gum. They wind up a rubber band behind him.
Are you still flying via the South Pole, Jesse, or have they got a decent flight for you now?
No, I still got to go to fucking South Carolina to Charlotte and then fucking come back up, which is stupid. But
Better than going to London.
I didn't have to pay for it. The NFL was flying me for free,
Carolina.
so
people are going to be coming on the plane with pigs and shit. Hey,
how y'all doing?
What do you mean they got to go in the overhead compartment? They ain't going up there. All right, let's see here. Let's get the hell on out of here. All right, we'll see you guys next time. I don't know when that'll be. It might be Friday, might be Saturday, might be next Friday, might be next Saturday. We'll get with Ken. Good our good friend Ken Johansson in here to talk about some draft. He actually does follow this stuff a lot more than we do, and will make us sound a lot smarter than some of us actually are. And I'm not really pointing at anybody but myself. So until then, ladies and gents, we'll see you.
Thanks for being here, everybody.